Hey, everybody. Oh boy, it just seems like people are being kind of snippety and irritated lately. Must be something in the energies. So yeah, I was gonna, okay, so first let's get into any updates of the business. I try to do that in the beginning of my Q&As. Um, the launch is going well. Everybody has to become a member of the private membership association in order um, to get on my website to have access to my services and all that kind of stuff. But it's only $22 for an entire lifetime. So what, 50 cents a year or something like that? And you get 25% off of your any order after that. So it's really kind of evens out. It kind of even gives you money back if you look at it from a certain perspective, depending on how much, how much you get. Anywho, thank you to those of you who have already become a member. Thank you to those of you who've jumped on the daily boost. I love that you have your own member section now. That's so awesome. And I've been putting in little winks from the universe whenever I get those intuitive messages and promptings and downloads and things like that I feel urged to share with you guys. Don't forget to look at that every once in a while. I don't put on there consistently. Sometimes I put on like every day, it looks like, and sometimes there's several times, many times a day. And then I'll skip a day or two and that kind of thing. So, yeah, so that's been going well. And I appreciate you guys so much. And I seem to have so many new people, as well as the beautiful people who've known me for so many years, and we have such a beautiful well, I have such an incredible connection with all of you. I absolutely love doing readings with you guys. I just you guys fill me up as much as I fill you up. I mean, I just, by the end of the day, when I've done my readings days, oh my gosh, I'm just so grateful to have you guys. I seriously am. And I can't thank you enough that we're now leveling up, going to the next level with my business and everything too. And that's another thing. If you guys buy one of my t-shirts or anything that you can wear or use in your kitchen or whatever, if you send me a picture of it, so that I can share it on Instagram and on my channel and whatnot, then I will give you 10% off of your next reading. So wanted to let you guys know about that as well. So things are really moving and shaking. Yay. And who knows where all this is leading. I'm just taking, just like you guys, I don't have this big plan, this big picture that I'm leading up to by any means at all. It's just like, God's like, okay, here's the next step. And then I do the next step. So it's not too overwhelming. It's just like, I do the next step. This is what I've done. And now we're here. And now you're taking the next step. And that's doing something for you as well, energetically. And then we're all just taking these little steps. And I know it's really frustrating at these times. It's just like, come on, when things happen already. It's like we really are mastering patience, and we're really mastering being in the moment and not letting ourselves get carried away, taking things out on other people. I mean, I'm having people argue with me, and that does not usually happen. So something's definitely going on in the energies. I don't know. I don't keep on top of that. I'm not an astrological person, but I know that stuff is significant and can really affect you. So I'm taking it in stride, and I understand you guys go through your phases and you feel like taking it out on somebody, and that's fine. Do what you got to do. You might get kicked off my channel, but it's okay. It's okay. It all works out in the end somehow. I don't tolerate, getting picked on or a lot of negativity. So you guys just keep that in mind. If you want to stay on my channel, don't pick on me and don't make fun of me, and don't be a brat and don't be mean. And I really don't have any tolerance for that kind of behavior. So you can go ahead and do it. You just won't be able to see my face anymore or hear anything that I have to say anymore, which might be good. But, it's, if I watch somebody and I don't like what they have to say, or I don't agree, I don't have to say anything. That's the ego trying to get you to want to be right. Oh, I'm going to prove a point here and really kind of say something to them, and I'm going to do it in front of everybody. It's like, that's totally your ego. So if I see somebody on some channel, or if I'm in their chat or something like that, I would never say anything to make them look bad in front of other people. I just wouldn't do that. So I would just be like, you know what, if anything, I would inform them privately of something that I thought they should know, or I just wouldn't watch them anymore. I probably would just get it, I probably wouldn't be in their chat anymore, or I probably wouldn't be on their channel, and I would just be like, I just, yeah, I'm not into this. So, which is fine too. We're all discovering our way, and we're all trying to live our truth and integrity. And sometimes somebody shakes you up. Somebody makes you question things that you thought were solid, And I think a mark of intelligence is to be able to hear the criticism and really see, is there a nugget of wisdom in this? Is there something that I can learn that's new right now? So as much as I think I know what I know on my channel, I'm also very malleable. So if, as I learn new things, I incorporate those new things. And sometimes I will say this and then I'll change it the next time. And it's because I'm freshly listening to spirit every time that I go to tune in for you guys. So in maybe one scenario or one situation, I'll give advice on this. Maybe somebody seems to be in the same exact situation and everything, and I might give them a totally different piece of advice. I don't even know if that's happened, but it's possible that that could happen, because I speak to spirit, and this person has issues with control, and this person over here has issues with addiction, two totally different scenarios and where they're coming from and all of that. And I'm not going, I'm using my spirit, uses my wisdom. They know what I know to use as examples, and they use my life because I know it. I don't know information that I don't know. So they use my knowledge and my experience, my information, to have me then express things to you guys. But they are directing it, what comes out of my mouth during these. So, and usually most of the time as well in my normal everyday life. And sometimes I don't even know that they're doing it. And probably many of you have that happening too. So, the point being, it's all led by spirit, and I have a very, very open mind, and I'm always willing to listen to somebody. And somebody said something about, they came in my chat and they said, well, timelines don't exist since 2012, since the Mayan calendar ended. And I was like, well, obviously that's not what I'm picking up on, and they said, well, obviously. I'm like, okay. I was like, spirit, is that true? The timelines no longer exist? And I got no. And so I was like, well, then I don't have to listen. It's like, if she had a point and I listened to my intuition said, yeah, she's actually right, I would have been, oh my God, but the things that I say on this channel are coming from spirit. So all that talk about timelines the other day, that was all from spirit. That's not from me trying to explain things away. But I'm smart enough to know that we should check ourselves. Sometimes we are coming from bias or letting our egos get in the way or whatever. So I always am open to somebody if they have some kind of new information I haven't heard before, or they say something like, I will always, if somebody even attacks me. I had a friend one time send me this really long drawn out email. And I looked at that and was just like, holy crap, what's going on here? And some people probably would have just been like, no, I'm not going to read this. I'm just going to throw the whole thing away. But, I went through all of it and I asked myself, is that true? 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 And I went through every bit of it without an ego, truly trying to get any kind of nugget of knowledge or wisdom out of it so that I could grow as a person and maybe do some Byron Katie work on it, or do something to level up somehow. I wanted that email to help me somehow, if you can take it that way. Even when you're attacked, sometimes that's good, valuable information. So I went through all of it and asked myself, really checked in with my heart. Is it true? Is it possible that that's actually true? And after, I think it was like three pages, I didn't get one thing that felt like it was like a profoundly like, oh my gosh, I'm doing that. And now we always have some kind of a reflection when somebody says something to you. we're always reflecting off of each other. So there's always truth in what everyone's saying to you. So it's like, you can't call somebody a liar without you being upset about something that you're lying to about yourself. But what I saw when I looked at the letter was it was the most, this is where I come up with that whole, when I tell you, if somebody attacks you, they're projecting their own unhealed stuff on you. And it's true. And it was never more, it was an epiphany moment where I actually saw her standing in front of the mirror, yelling all of that to herself. Cause that's what made the most sense. Cause I didn't do those things that she said. And or whatever, everything, when I examined it, I really, more than anything, saw her standing in the mirror, yelling that at herself. And I had compassion for her. And I was like, wow, that's how she feels about herself. Oh my gosh, that explains so much. And it helped me to see her in a different light. And it helped me to, to just shed so much light on the whole thing. Oh, that's what she was thinking the whole time. Oh my gosh. If she just would have said that, I would have explained that it wasn't like that, or whatever it is. You know what I mean? Just misunderstandings. That just because somebody doesn't voice themselves and they bottle it up and it starts to really, come to the surface and explode, then anyway, that's why it's also really important to communicate, so that so there isn't this buildup of anxiety and a built up story that isn't actually there, and you're not making up lies in your head about the scenario. You can actually communicate and get clarity and, have resolution with the person. Anyway. So, so this person said this and I felt into it and I was just like, no. And so I thought I would explain to you a little about timelines, and it came up in my group mentoring session as well. So I thought, well, this is the theme right now, and this is something people need to understand. And notice my green eyes today, they look just totally green, don't they? They're most definitely not brown. Whoever said that. Okay. So somebody kept saying, your eyes look brown now. And I don't know where you were getting that, but it must have been the time of day. I think I was videoing later in the afternoon or something like that. I don't know. Apparently. And somebody else agreed. Yeah, they look brown. What's going on? So, all the things right now. So timelines. Okay. So this is what I've been explaining to people for so many years, even when they came to the lighthouse to see me and stuff. Because I read it somewhere, probably in the timeline book I shared with you guys on Telegram. I don't remember, but it made a lot of sense. If somebody just sits around doing nothing, let's say, a cute little old guy just sits in his chair every day and he reads the paper every morning and has his coffee and doesn't do anything all day, or maybe goes down and plays chess with his buddies for a while and then goes back home and watches his news at night and, whatever, like somebody like that is completely and totally predictable. And they can, if that man were to go in for a reading and they really don't do much at all, then whatever a psychic would predict for that person, is going to most likely be absolutely, something that happens just as the person describes. However, if someone is forward growing, and if they are more spontaneous and more in the moment and more in a creative flow, and they're more responsive to life, because life is very malleable. We have many, many dimensions and timelines and so many things going on, time travel and interferences. And I mean, if you guys could see all of the grids and the all the stuff going on the other side, it's insane. It's insane, the stuff that's happening. Then you would understand that if somebody, like if you watch, what is that one with Ashton Kutcher, The Butterfly Effect, I think. Watch that movie. If you guys don't understand timelines, it's really good, because when somebody makes a decision or they do something normal and different than they normally would, or it's something that's like a spontaneous or like anything like that had them on the trajectory. Now, trajectory is kind of like a track. Like you are destined and you're going for this thing. Now, certain things have to happen no matter what. There's certain destined things that are like bound to happen eventually. And you may be taking a really long road there, or you may be taking a shortcut there, or whichever way you're going, you're going to get there. They're predestined is what Spirit just said. So there are those types of things, but the road there can be all over the place. And if somebody, and it can make the timing off. Like if you go, it's exactly like driving to a destination. Thank you for that example. You're driving to somebody's house. You may decide if you're a really rigid person and you're like always by the rule book and you always have to do what the nav says and you always bump, then it's pretty darn predictable. You're going to get to the house at 2:00 in the afternoon when the thing is planned, right? Or to the meeting at 2:00. But somebody over here who's just like, well, you know what? I kind of feel like going over and getting some coffee at the coffee shop. And then you're in there and, oh, look at the little kitty on the shelf. Oh, how cute. I think I'll get the little kitty too. They had a gift shop here. I didn't know they had a gift shop here. Oh my gosh. You know what? My friend Ann lives right down the road. Why don't we just go say, and I'm just going to bring her the little kitty cat and just brighten her day. Right. So this person's going over here fluttering around like a little butterfly. And the other person's like, we need to get there by 2:00. Oh, they can wait, they're not waiting on us. It's just a lunch or it's just a blah, blah. So they're going to get there about 2:30, 2:45, maybe, depending on whatever they decided to do over there. So what I've told people for quite a while is that the things that I predict, or I asked last night, I asked Spirit my accuracy rate, and it's been like about 92%. I mean, I was voted best in Boulder for a reason for 5 years. And those judges, they all get a reading from you and they look for integrity and they look for ethics, morals, and they look for for you being accurate. And they watch their lives and the things that you tell them and they see how that goes. And they see if it came true. They see if your advice worked. They see, and they do this to all these different psychics that they're trying to choose between to be the best psychic. In fact, I believe that they created the category for me because of me, which is a huge compliment. It's amazing. So, I mean, it's the Best of Boulder award. It's gone on for a long time, but I don't think they had psychics in there before me. So, yeah, it was an honor, but it happened because I have integrity and because I am not biased as much as possible. Even if I totally agree with the answer I'm about to give, I'll give it if Spirit says it, right? So, I will take myself out of the equation to do the right thing or to do the thing that Spirit wants me to say to the person, no matter what. Even if it goes against what I always tell everybody or whatever, I will tell them what Spirit says to say. Because sometimes even people need to go off track for a minute and believe this thing that the angels are telling them to get them to go do something, which then gives them a revelation, which then brings them around full circle to be able to do the thing that they were going to do in the first place. I know that's confusing, but I just work with Spirit. Let's just say that I do as I'm being told. And my guides are very, very loving and benevolent. So I trust them. I trust them a lot. And like I said, the accuracy rate is off the charts. So, however, the timing can be off. And I've told people the timing is like 50% accurate. So the things that I see are going to happen most likely, unless you do something dramatic and maybe even intentionally avoid those things happening. Then I guess you could, and you still might end up there. I don't know. However, having said all of that, another proof of timelines happened. Like timelines actually existing is one of the things. Like when I go back and work with people's past lives a lot, and we will imagine a different scenario having happened in the beginning, that changes everything. Yeah, we'll go back when they had a certain accident or they lied to someone or something happened that turned everything bad, that then set them on a certain trajectory for the rest of their lives, plural. We'll go back to that moment. And we'll see what caused it all. We'll change the trajectory and get it on a positive timeline where that thing didn't happen, where they used wisdom. They actually confessed or told the truth or whatever instead. And it's relieved whatever the symptoms were, or it's made them feel so much more peace in their life. I've had them experience the difference between, what now that they changed the thing in the past life. So that's a timeline shift, but also I've had people experience some like that they are somebody else, because all time exists at the same time. And that's really hard to fathom also. But let's say, like, I worked with somebody recently who had like a past life as in the Victorian times. She was wearing this really fluffy Victorian dress, and she was very proper, and she was very, like, very much back in that time. And she was having a conversation with the person that's in this life, and she was asking for her advice. They were both female, but they were both the same person, simultaneously having a conversation with me being like an interpreter. Actually, I channeled her. She jumped in my body and spoke, and I spoke as her toward the person. And we actually had a conversation where she was able to coach herself on a scenario that she was going through in her life at that time. And she was describing what it is to live now as a more independent woman versus back then when they had to kind of obey and do all this. It was very interesting, very, very interesting. And I've had somebody else cross timelines like that too. Maybe there's a different name for it. I don't know. But somebody else crossed timelines with their selves too. And they were in a cave somewhere trying to navigate, and they were really scared. And they were like, I don't know how to get out of this cave. I got stuck. I was on a walk, or I was on a hike, or whatever. So they're like, could you please help me? And in both instances, we had chills everywhere. I mean, it was so real and it was so vivid. And this person was just like, can you please help me? I'm coming to myself in the future to help me get out of here. And, the person was just like, and I was helping because I could actually see the cave and everything. So I was describing it to the person that I was having the reading with. And I was like, tell her to go right. Tell her that once she's around the corner, she's going to see this, that, or the other thing. And I see like trickling water coming down. She should go around that or whatever. So I was helping tell the other person was telling her how to stay calm, and she was doing all the talking with the spirit. I was just telling her what to say and where to go and all that stuff. It was an incredible experience, but we were both so blown away. So that happened, I believe, after 2012. Also, I was in my bedroom in Boulder, and I had a bathroom in my bedroom, and I had one out in the hallway. And for some reason, something must have been going on with that bathroom, because I went to that one. I think I used to take showers in that one. So I must have gone to take a shower or a bath or something. And that one, I didn't use it for that. So anyway, so I went there and was walking back into my bedroom, and it was like my doorway had become a portal. The bedroom doorway had become a portal. Now, this was just a couple of years ago, so well after 2012. I walked through the portal, and all of a sudden I got flashes that seemed like options that were given to me as to what timeline I wanted to be on. So it was like I saw a scenario where I was with my masculine, and we were really happy, and we were, running up and down the stairs in the place that I lived at, and we were laughing and kind of tackling each other up the stairs, and we were just being really goofy and just having so much fun. And then there was another timeline where I was like consoling my best friend, and she was crying, and I was there for her and whatnot. And there were all these different scenarios that I could tell were happening right now that I could switch over to if I wanted to. And I was looking like this, and I was looking around my room, but I wasn't looking at my room. There was like self-imposed, like this, these other realities right in front of me, almost like little sections of a pie. So I could see this one, see that one, see that one, see that one, see that one. And I was feeling into and looking into each and every one of them to see which one I wanted. And I just said to Spirit, I just want the one where this is happening. And I'm not going to tell you guys what it is for my privacy. I just want the one where this thing is happening, where this thing is insured. I want this thing. And then boom, it all stopped. And I went to go to see proof of the thing, that the thing was there. And when I looked, it was. And I was like, oh my God,
And I just smiled and I said, thank you. So there are choices that you can make too. And you in that particular instance, that to me was absolute proof of timelines and our ability to shift them. If you think that you set something down and you're really darn sure that you did it, and you come back and that thing is missing and nobody moved it because nobody's living with you or whatever, and an animal didn't move it or whatever, that was a timeline shift. Sometimes your mood will shift, your mood will completely change, or you guys know what it is to experience a timeline shift. And I'm sure plenty of you have also had pretty valid proof that there have been timeline things going on since 2012. So, and there are just so many instances I can think of, like, I that I apparently can't think of, but one just popped in my head a second ago and it just took off for whatever reason. But let me, I'm going to pause this so I can look at my notes here and write down some, just let you guys know some other things that I wrote down. Okay, so Anne of Skin Suit Manual, she does this kind of work all the time too. She works in a whole other dimension with all kinds of creatures and crazy things. Like, I've been on the phone with her for hours and hours and hours, and we've had so many adventures. But she says, at least yawning, she talked about something else too, I think, but she said when you yawn, you're switching to a higher timeline. And that makes sense to me, because if you're listening to a Qigong master or somebody of a super high vibration and you're not quite at their level, you'll fall asleep or you'll yawn or you'll get really tired. So that makes sense. Yeah. And okay, so here's a good point that I wrote down too. If there was no more timeline shifting for all this time, then every psychic, everybody like me, all the truthers that do predictions, all of us would all be saying the same things and they'd all be coming true. Isn't that proof enough? We would all be, if it was all one thing and it was all headed one place, I mean, there's a book, I forget the name of it, but it talks about how there's ultimately 3 endings to this story we're in right now. Yeah, at least 3 endings. So we're at least switching between those 3. Boom, 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 depending on the moment. Hopefully, you guys just thank you, God. Just be affirming all the time if you're worried about it. Thank you, God, so much for always putting me on the highest timeline and keeping me in the highest vibration possible. There you go. Say that all the time. I can't tell you how many times I've told somebody something in a reading and they've like, oh my God, I've been praying for that lately. I'm like, well, that's what happens. You set your intention and then you start receiving proof that it's true. So, yeah, that would make all of us incredibly like right on with the timing. It'd be like, guess what? In 2 months, this is going to happen. And you would hear it across the board. All the psychics would be picking up on it. So, okay. So here's another good example, I guess. Well, let's see. Yeah. And this happened within the last, I don't know. Okay. So this was just more somebody who was very upset at the thought of a timeline that she was on the trajectory of, and she absolutely refused to believe that it was true. She hated what I predicted. She was so angry. She was just livid. She made fun of me. She went out to lunch with her friends or something and made fun of me and played my recording for her friends. And they all, well, not, they didn't laugh, but she was laughing and just being like, she doesn't know what she's doing. She predicted this. There'd be no way in hell I would ever do that. And, I told her that she was going to be so with somebody from her past. And she was like, I don't know anybody from my past. And I was like, you have to know somebody from your past. I don't know anybody who would ever be interested in, ever. She was so angry. I was like, what is your deal? So she just absolutely refused, was like, absolutely not. And all this stuff that I had told her, she just had so much resistance to all of it. And she was just like, I am not on that timeline. I am not going to blah, blah, blah. And sure enough, it all came true. And all of her friends reminded her. And then she was singing my praises. And I've had that happen at least 2 times I can think of. Oh yeah. And there was this one where I was telling the sweet older gal that she was going to go to jail. I was like, I see you going to jail. And then we figured out that she was going actually to volunteer and to help the inmates and stuff. It was pretty cool. But even if things seem absolutely preposterous, the things that I'm predicting, they do come true. It's the craziest thing. Anyway. And also no. If you guys want to read some really cool testimonials, go to Instagram and put in hashtag Amy Satori testimonials. And just, you could read those for hours. There's so many of them. There's got to be like, I don't know, but like 300 probably by now, 500. I don't know, like a million. It seems like you would probably be reading for hours. Okay. Okay. Yeah, there's no way at a time of such great change, epiphanies, and realizations that we'd be on just one linear timeline. I mean, with all the contrast, all the people who are raising up and getting in their power, and all of you who are just like soaring, and then all these people who are refusing to see and that are just so stubborn, and they just will not have anything to do with growth, and they are just certain they're going to die, and they're certain the robots are taking over, and they're certain that they're either totally paranoid or they're not believing any of those theories and blah blah blah. There's no way that we're all on the same timeline with all that going on. Yeah. Okay, so the point being that to always consider new information, like I said, and always just come back to what your truth is and listen to your own intuition, because there is a lot of intentional and unintentional information out there. Maybe the person who made that video was trying to scare people. Maybe they were trying to, I mean, you never know somebody's agenda and what they're trying to do. So just consider and keep an open mind, and always check your intuition like I did. Like when she said that, immediately I was just like, well, the first thing I said was, obviously I don't agree with that, because I just talked about that and I said the opposite. So, but then the next thing I did was like, okay, is it true? No. I was like, well, okay, then I guess I don't need to look into it any further. So, hope something in there helped you understand something better, or understand timelines better, or understand how to stay open about information, or understand how things can be misleading sometimes, or there's a misunderstanding about it, or just go with the flow and don't pick on anybody, guys. Just don't, leave people alone, let them be themselves. Just, if you don't like them, just don't watch them anymore, or just whatever. You don't know, you guys don't need to be right. Nobody needs to prove that they're right or something. They're just I'm not trying to prove I'm right doing this. I'm just making the points as to why I believe that timelines do exist right now, to reassure you guys that you're not stuck on some timeline, and who knows what the heck that timeline would be if everybody was stuck on the same one and we couldn't get off. That sounds, I don't even know what that would be. I still believe that we are the masters of what we're creating. We are the manifestors of our future. So, you guys can believe whatever you want to. And some of you decide to believe the scary stuff. Whatever you hear that's scary, you'll believe it. And you can do that. That's fine. But you're going to end up on some timeline. I believe you're going to end up on some timeline where that will be proven to you to be true. So if I were you, I would have the best attitude you possibly can, and only be listening into and believing the information that you're hearing that actually helps you feel better about things, helps you feel good about things, not bad, Anyway. Okay. Let me take a drink. And by the way, I'm still on, still doing my thing that I had done on my sabbatical. And I'm currently trying to completely rid myself of any and all parasites in all ways, shapes, and forms. I had a really incredible meal the other night that was absolutely amazing. Absolutely, like unbelievably amazing. And then I switched to going back to just water and tea. And sometimes I enjoy a seltzer water. So, okay. 42.98. Oh, to order, psych. To order one of these questions, you go to my website, which is amysatori.com. It's also awakenedalliance.org. They're the same website now. You become a member for $22 for a lifetime, like I said in the beginning. And once you're in there, you've got a whole bunch of fun stuff to look at and to do in there. And one of the things is to ask Amy. It's called Ask Amy. And that's where you go ask your question. And it's $33 per question right now. Some of you have tried to get away with asking like 4 questions and you've only ordered 1 or 2. So then I end up, or H ends up having to rephrase everything so that it ends up staying within my boundaries, because I think it's important that, especially as a reader, people really try to take advantage of you in all kinds of ways. They even try to befriend you and all kinds of things to try to get, try to get you to do things on your weekend, or to try to get you to do, to just, oh, hey, we're friends now, so do this for me. Anyway. So you can always ask general questions for free on there as part of your question. That's okay. But please just, if you ordered 1 question, just ask 1 question, and you can tell me all that you want to. And like I said, you can ask general questions, but yeah, please respect my boundaries. I really would appreciate it. So yeah. So that's how you get to ask your questions every week. And I usually put up about, I don't know, 10 to 20 questions, depending on how, how my workload is looking, and how how much time I want to, spend, and, spirit's always dictating that anyway. So, but yeah, I just feel into it when I go to put a certain number of questions up. Emergency readings. Let me just jump onto that real quick too. I do have emergency readings available, which are 10 minutes for $77. Please respect the 10 minutes. We're going to stay under the 10 minutes, or you will not be sent your recording. That's your punishment for going over 10 minutes and not respecting my time. So please stay within the 10 minutes. Very important, because I'm taking my time off to do that. And try to also respect my weekends. I really am trying to take time off on Saturdays and Sundays. So please don't try to get me talking about your personal stuff on the weekends. And please don't, even if you do get an emergency reading on the weekend, unless it's an absolute emergency, please contact me on Monday through Friday, and say, okay, I ordered an emergency reading. Can you please, get to me as soon as you can on Monday or whatever. So many of you are I hate to have to even say this stuff, because most of you, like 90% of you, are so beautiful and so respectful and so gracious and so amazing. So thank you to those of you who already do that. But I'm just saying, for those of you who are new, or maybe you're used to taking advantage of other people, I don't know. Please respect that I have a weekend too. I mean, like, just because you have an emergency doesn't mean I stop my life and that kind of, and I know it's an emergency reading. I know that. So I'm saying, if it's a valid emergency, like it is absolutely like your limb got cut off or something, like you need me, I will be there for you. Trust me. But if it's something that can wait until Monday, then please try to just be aware that I do have a life. I am trying to relax on the weekends and trying to keep my mind off of my work so that I can be fresh for you guys during the week. I need a break just like you guys do. You know what I mean? Okay. So I'll get off that kick. Okay. So 42.98. I took your suggestion on making playful hints with my divine masculine. If you guys don't know about what she means by divine masculine, you can go to my playlist here on YouTube called About True Love, and it will explain what the divine masculine and the divine feminines are, what their roles are. It tells you everything you need to know about those types of relationships. Who I believe is my twin flame.
Okay, so I took your suggestion on making playful hints with my divine masculine, who I believe is my twin flame. I told him that I think he's very attractive and that he is the whole package. I didn't say it to his face because I was a little nervous. I did it through Messenger. He seemed to have taken it well. Can you tell me how he's feeling now? And I just got yes, like in big letters, like all caps. Okay. And oh, bottom of the deck is the Ace of Wands. He's very attracted to you and he is inspired to start a new life with you. He's thinking that Ace of Wands can be like a whole new life opening up, a whole new lifestyle even. So he's thinking to be with you could be like, holy cow, it really opens up a whole can of worms and could really broaden his horizons, I'm getting. Okay, so I'm going to do a true love spread for you. Okay, so he could be concerned that somebody else could take you away. And he has conflict about that. I think he was shocked by what you said, or shocked that you said it or admitted it. Maybe it was something that he was feeling kind of giddy about it. I think he was surprised you like him back in a way. Okay. All right. Oh, I think he's with somebody. It looks like he's with someone. Yeah, pretty sure. Somebody karmic. So that could mean, yeah, I'm pretty sure it's a karmic. Yeah. He's thinking about you right now, by the way. Okay, so, in a way, he feels like he wants to confess a betrayal to you. So it could be that he hasn't told you about this person that he's with. It could be something he's hidden from you because maybe it's an ex that he can't shake, and he's embarrassed by it. But he does want to reconnect with you and he loves the rapport that you had in whatever conversation that was. He loves the connection that you guys have, that you guys seem to be kindred spirits in a way. And he wants the end of a difficult period. He's really tired of whatever stage you guys are in. He wants to get past it. So whatever stuckness there is between you guys, he wants to get past the betrayal, that's causing that. So he was feeling mentally conflicted because he feels immature and he feels like you are wiser, more compassionate, more loving, more caring. You'd make a great mom. He's not sure what kind of a dad he'd make. He's also feeling like you would appreciate him being in his power. I think his karmic gets threatened by him being in his power and tries to pull him back down to a state of immaturity. So he's kind of stuck being a kid with her in a way. She makes him react in a way that kind of brings out that immature side of him and keeps him stuck there. But you help him to level that out in him. You help him to feel more grounded and mature like you are. He's feeling like he better get a move on it with you. Otherwise, you're going to feel wishy-washy and maybe go with another guy. He's feeling in his heart space like super, super excited to start a new adventure with you and wants to like just be done with that past relationship where he's always fighting. He could also be drinking. He could also have an issue with drinking and he wants to do the mature thing and like push his friends away who are trying to be like a bad influence on him somehow. So it's almost like, you know what? I want to get on this new road. I want to get on this new path because I feel like it will be very healing and happy and wonderful. He finds you incredibly sexy. And he wants to end this period that he's with this other person and he wants to go into a new period where he can maybe have a kid with you. He could, and if it's not that, then it could be a puppy or like just giving birth to something new and being vulnerable and happy and giddy and excited. He feels like you're fiery. He loves that you really say it like it is. He really is working hard and planning hard to hold on to you and not let you get away and have this thing pulled together and heal it.
but he also knows that he's got to maybe get rid of his habit and get rid of the person who keeps him in it, in a way, keeps him kind of sick, so that he keeps depending on the habit. It's not a healthy environment for him to be able to quit drinking or whatever the bad habit is. And it's heartbreaking for him. He hates that he just can't, break away from the situation and just come be with you. But he really wants to balance out and become more independent and do what it is he wants to do, which is to be with you. So I actually brought my masculine cards with me this time. Where are they? Okay. And this is my normal curly hair, by the way. This is what it looks like naturally when I don't straighten it. So these are my masculine, they're called the mini ghoster cards in my store. You guys should check out what's in the store. There's lots of really fun shirts and cards and stuff in there if you want to explore around. Okay. So this is what he would tell you if he could. Ha. Talk about confirmation. I'm dealing with an addiction right now. Please let me deal with this on my own so I can feel empowered and confident starting a new life with you. I know I can do this. So he believes in himself, but he's just, he's got to make some major changes. Please give me the space I need. I have to figure this out on my own so I can feel proud of myself. So don't push him anymore. He now knows that you're very attracted, and he knows that it's, that he knows, if he would say that, then you must be confident he's attracted too, kind of thing. And he's just like, okay, that's enough. We're like, we know. I just need to deal with some things. So, no pressure, just kind of go back to minding your own business and just letting him figure it out. Here's more confirmation of him making those plans. Like I said, I'm making plans for us behind the scenes I don't want you to know about yet. And I'm setting us up for a bright, stable future and want to impress you the next we talk. So he's just doing a lot of work on himself right now. I miss you so much. My heart aches, and I cried too. I just can't reach out just yet until my situation is cleared up a bit. Know that I think of you all the time and want you in my life as soon as possible. So any of you guys who are in this type of situation, kind of waiting for somebody who seems to be pushing you away, and you're really kind of like, come on, get with the program. They know what they're doing, and they know they need to grow up a bit before they can be with you. So let them do it. Because if you get with them beforehand, you're going to get a tongue lashing. You're going to get like the ugly side of them that you don't necessarily want to see. So let them do their growing up and let them get over their addictions and whatnot that they have to. I'm having commitment issues right now because I doubt my ability to make good decisions, and I'm afraid to go through yet another breakup. I have to learn to trust myself more. So as he heals, he'll be able to do that. And as he starts to see, things how they are, like how he's getting manipulated and things like that, then he's going to be able to also see that you're not like that and you're not going to treat him the same way. Oh, I cry myself to sleep and toss and turn over this. I miss you so much. It's killing me not to reach out to you. I love you so much. I also know this isn't the time for us to happen just yet. So it sounds like you just need to be patient. I would, any of you in this situation where it just seems to be such a struggle, I would say, give yourself months or a year. Like, don't be checking your time all the time going, oh, you should be any week now. Don't get all excited watching readings and stuff on YouTube and be, oh, he's about to call. Oh, he's about to call. I mean, it sounds like you guys are kind of in communication a little bit, but, give him lots and lots of space. If you assume that it's like a year from now all the time, oh gosh, it's going to be a while. He's got a lot of growing up to do, and he's got to get over this addiction now. And oh my gosh, that's so much. If you can just assume that, then won't you be so wonderfully surprised when he does actually call you sooner than that? Wouldn't you rather that than, I mean, it's same, like I always compare the romantic, side of things to the world situation, because they do seem to really coincide. But it's the same thing as those of you who are watching these kinds of predictions being like, well, it was supposed to happen in September. Well, it was supposed to happen in August. Well, it was supposed to, don't do that. You're going to torture yourself, and you're going to be feeling like, things aren't happening, and you'll be in a very frustrated energy, and you'll start manifesting things that are frustrating for you, more things that are frustrating for you.
So get in the flow, really trust life's flow. Know that it's all going to happen. It's just not going to be at the time you might think, you know what I mean? But it's all going to happen. So, all right. 4299. Hi, Amy and the collective. Happy September. At the end of June, my DM and I began a separation period. It has been really hard on me, and I really invested a lot in a lot of ways. But in the meantime, I've been trying to focus on healing that so I can be open to what the universe has in store for me. That's good. I got my hopes up on this, though, trying to let go and let God at the same time. Well, my original DM has resurfaced, and that will happen if these guys keep fooling around. He has expressed to me that he has split with his fiance and he's giving her a few months to move out. Interesting. He also said that he chose wrong, which they often do because they run from true love. Well, just watch the playlist. They run from true love because they don't want to face themselves. They want to go with what's easy. Okay. He also said that, and also the Karmics look at them the way that they see themselves. So when they beat themselves up and they have poor self-esteem, they choose somebody who will make them feel like crap, basically. Okay, so he also said that he chose wrong, implying he should have chosen me to begin with, and that there's no other girl like me. Now, that's very common too. That's the way your masculine feels about you. I also have expressed that I would like him to deal with this situation completely before we entertain anything, and that we need to heal some things between us before we can proceed forward. I'm trying to buy myself time to process this. He understands and accepts that, but he is still trying to make plans for the holidays together and live together, even though I haven't committed to anything. The truth is, this has only made me more confused, as I still have deep feelings for my DM 2.0. And then you can learn about soul flames in a talk that I did in the playlist called alternate options. And that he really is where my heart lies at the moment. So she wants the 2.0 more than she wants the 1.0. I'm wondering if this is a test of some sort. Can I please get a message from Spirit regarding this situation that will guide me to my happiest, most fulfilled timeline that's best for me and my daughter? Of course, I'd be happy to. Okay. I'm going to feel into his intentions because I believe he knows about the 2.0. So he could be just doing this out of wanting to nab you and make sure that you don't get taken and that he has regrets about that. So I'm going to just make sure that he truly is a changed man and that he really is, who knows, maybe she left him. And so now he's coming to you crying, oh, I made the wrong decision and now I want you. And you'd be like, yeah, I don't know. Okay, so I feel like he's being sincere. Oh, he deeply regrets what he did and that he's put you in this position to even him and haw about it. Because he's like, she would have jumped on this in the past. Like now I got some serious competition. Oh, he really is like very, very deeply moved by this situation. He is on the edge of his seat. He is really, really wanting you to, he's putting a lot of pressure on you because he just wants to make sure that you commit to him and not the other guy. Because he's pretty sure that you guys will be really happy together. Would they be happy with him? Would they be happy with 1.0? Would they truly be happy? Would they have their app? I'm going to look at the picture. Please put me in a timeline where those guys are together and they're really happy. Show me what that looks like. he seems like somewhat of a pioneer, like brave and courageous and all these new ideas. And you know what I'm going to start? I'm going to try this and I'm going to venture out into that and I'm going to start this business. And it looks like you and your daughter are like, oh, what are we about to get into now? And like, what's he up to now? So there's a little bit of a feeling of him being in his own world, even though you guys are together. It's like you and your daughter are kind of a thing, and then he is doing his thing, and you guys are just kind of watching the show in a way. So I guess you feel a little bit excluded, just a little bit. He provides some good entertainment, but in a way, I feel like sometimes he leaves you guys alone. I'm trying to look for like intimate moments where you guys are actually where there's like shared closeness and things. Cause oftentimes I'll see couples like sitting out on the back porch, winding down for the evening, talking about their day and bonding and holding hands and looking at the sunset and listening to the birds. And I love seeing things like that because that to me is like real intimacy and closeness, spending quiet moments together like that. And with this guy, it just seems like he's kind of all over the place, a little bit elusive, a little bit I don't know if he has ADD or something, but like constantly has to be doing something. It feels like a little fidgety, a little restless. Has she napahamaan? Halakidina a sanse. Great sex though, great sex. Hapema anak taiken. Hichin taon. I feel like he's also very, very sweet with her, quite a bit, like playful, sweet, fun. Like, so you guys, I mean, he can be really playful and fun too. So, I mean, there's a spontaneous side too that's like, let's go on an adventure this weekend and go for a drive and go do this, that, and the other thing. Um, so I don't know, there's some great stuff to him too. Some really fun, great stuff. But I feel like there's just, it's not the deepest connection. It doesn't seem like the deep. Does he ever get deep and just talk and just really get down to it and like share his heart? Yeah, yeah, but it's not really like in the forefront of his nature. It's like if he's got to, I think he would avoid it if he could. But then it's like he'll yeah, he's more about having fun or making fun with you. Making fun with you. Why do I keep feeling like that hair is falling forward? Okay. Um, yeah, he doesn't seem very like serious and grounded in a way. So let me feel into 2.0. 2.0 is much more like in your face, like would hold your face and talk to you straight in the eyes and tell you the truth. He would open up to you and cry about something that happened in his past. He would he would be thoughtful and make you a dinner, some night and just tell you, you just relax, I'll make dinner tonight. So he's thoughtful, considerate. I feel like the three of you on the back porch at the end of the night, winding down. Your girl's like sitting on your lap. Um, yeah, she's like pointing at a rabbit running across the yard, and you guys are giggling. Definitely more. I could see where you're picking the 2.0 over the 1.0. The 1.0 is exciting and fun and playful and cute and sweet, but he's a little bit avoidant. And 2.0 is just much more there and present and part of the family. And you guys are snuggling on the couch watching movies or something. He would make a fort for your little one and you guys would lay in the fort together. So yeah, I think I'd pick 2.0 too of what I'm seeing. How's the sex? Good, very good. Um, it's uh it's more intimate, like a closeness than the other. So it's different, it's just a different type, but it's but good sex from both. Okay. See, the first one just popped in and he's like, great sex on my side. Like I would be great. He would be good. I'd be great. So he's a little competitive too, and he's a little bit in his ego still. So yeah, I would just tell him we'll see when we get there. To put him off. We'll see when we get there. We'll see what starts to play out. I'm not making any promises. I would like, if that were to work out, then that might be a wonderful thing. But I just want to see, because a lot's going to be revealed between now and then, and you'll have to see how strong he is with, the one he broke up with, and how he handles that situation. Is he going to be a people pleaser? Is he going to draw it out? Is he going to, there's too many moving parts. I definitely wouldn't commit to it if I were you. So I understand how you're feeling about that. But I mean, either choice you make, because sometimes that playful, crazy kind of person is just what you need. Sometimes that's just what's tugging on your heart. So yeah, you're going to have to make a decision in the moment when it comes to you. Is number two guy, is he gonna try to come forward and make amends? Is he gonna apologize for what happened? I get a yes. I'm feeling really bad. But he still needs distance for some reason. I still feel him pushing you away. So I think there's hope for both. There's hope for both. So I think you'll be good either way, but I would just keep praying and affirming what you want. Thank you, God, for giving me somebody who's honest and faithful, and who is there for me, and who understands, and he truly listens, and really hears me, really gets where I'm coming from, believes what I'm saying. He's there for my daughter. Thank you so much that he's thoughtful. He's considerate. He is deep. We can have deep conversations and spend time together just being quiet or whatever. That kind of thing. Okay. 4323. Hello, Amy. I have 3 questions. The first 2 questions are for my sister. Question number 1. My sister has lived in her home for 15 years. Her son has heard screaming bad things in his ears and being paralyzed in bed. Her daughter felt the bed shaking, and my sister and her husband felt an animal, a cat, crawl in the bed. She has tried saging and blessing the property. Her husband's also tired, and she is having back-to-back physical problems popping up. Is there something in her house? I get it. Definite yes. It came on. I feel like there's even poltergeist activity there. I don't know if somebody's going through menopause or there's a teenager, but both of those can trigger a poltergeist energy. I'm surprised you haven't had like things opening and closing and cupboards slamming, or weird inexplicable activity like that. I feel like there's more than just one person in the house. I feel like there's definitely like a force. A force. Is there a portal in her home? Is there a portal in her sister's home? Kind of like that. I think it might scare her a bit, but if she gets a webcam and she puts a webcam in her bedroom, I did that once, and I was like, holy crap. Like, I got EVP, which is electronic voice phenomenon, where you actually hear them talking. I got like orbs, and I got like little fairies and all kinds of activity when wasn't where I'm at now, but a long time ago. I was shocked by the amount of activity in a week. So maybe encourage her to videotape it all, or like a webcam at night while she's sleeping. And it can just look out in the center of the room. It doesn't have to look at her. I filmed myself sleeping because I wanted to see if, when the voice happened, if I moved or something. So it was very interesting.
Anyway, have her do that. I would definitely have a shaman or somebody like out to her house to really take a look. I feel like somebody needs to go in each one of her rooms and see what's there, what kind of energy is there, because I feel like there's a collection of energy over a long period of time. It must be an old house, or maybe a lot of things or people died there. But there's oh, is it underneath? It's underneath the house. Oh, maybe it's an old graveyard or something. You know, a lot of times they'll do that. They back in the day they would, I don't know, people been known to put construction over graveyards without telling people. So it could be something like that. Don't scare her with that. Just be like, she didn't just see one ghost. She saw a number of different, negative forces that need to be cleared out of there. And you really got to know what you're doing when you go into a place like that. If she wanted me to, I can do a remote house clearing, but we would have to take, at least like 20 to 45 minutes. I have 20-minute readings that I do and 45-minute readings that I do, but that way she could actually take me, we could go through every room and what's in it, and that kind of, and so I'm capable of doing all that, but for one question, it's too extensive, and she's got way too much activity. Is there a single room in that house that isn't haunted? Yes. I feel like it's like a sewing room or something, just a room that's kind of like a hobby room or a craft room. I feel like there's no activity in there because nobody goes in there hardly. But every other room I think has stuff going on. So, and I've lived in a haunted house. I know what that's like. I mean, it was the same kind of activity of haunting too. There was something happening in every room all the time. I had water turning on, knobs turning, doors being locked, pictures turning, like sounds that were not happening, that like nothing was happening in front of my eyes, but I could hear stuff happening. Even my animals would hear it, and we would all be looking at something that wasn't there. That was before I did what I do now. It's part of why I became what I am, is because I was so curious what all that was about. Anyway, so yeah, if she's open to it, I would be willing to do a long distance clearing on her home. But yeah, she's definitely got a lot of activity. I would say there's like 18 spirits interacting, including ectoplasm or something like that too. And not that that's a spirit, but it's like an energy. So there's like 18 energies definitely causing confusion and conflict in the house. And if she were to do Qigong, which I do have one an exercise I recommend in my resources, all the way at the bottom, I believe, or maybe I moved it to the top, but it's called More Energy, More Life. You could buy that for her if you wanted to and send it to her. If she were to start doing Qigong, or her kid was to start, if you guys were all to do, if they were all to do the Qigong, at least once or twice a day, then there would definitely become like a protected space in that room where less activity would happen and healing could happen. So I would suggest that. Or yeah, I would definitely like clear that home. Is it capable to be cleared? Is it possible for that home to be cleared? Yep. Yeah, it's going to take effort, but absolutely it can be. Okay. So question number 2. My sister's son is 34 years old, and as soon as he gets ahead, he self-sabotages himself and it drops him back to square one. He had a missing time element when he was 15 years old. He came in and fell to the floor, freaking out because he didn't know who or where he was. Sometimes he gets so angry at her, he will not speak to her for weeks. Is he possessed or have unwanted energies? Interesting. All right, so let's see. First of all, the missing time element. 15 years old, he came in and fell to the floor, freaking out that he didn't know where he was. Obviously, that was a supernatural experience. Is he possessed? Is her son possessed? This 34-year-old, is he possessed? Is it a curse or is it a possession? Possession or curse? I feel like it's a possession. You are right. That's interesting. The when he's ignoring you, he's possessed. Because I just saw like a spirit being in his body and looking over at you like, and just like walking away. Like, who are you? The spirit has no relationship to you, like, or to her. And he's just like, who are you? Weird woman or whatever. So is this like let me feel into it for a minute. Him and not taking so say hey nah. Okay. Ooh, I've seen this once before. It's taken over his masculine side. His masculine side of his body is completely black. Hai la pena taking say. Okay, they told me I can remove it. Okay, so let's go for it. We'll do our best. Does his higher self agree with removing this entity? Does he actually want to get ahead in life? He wants to get ahead in life. Does he give his permission? Does his higher self give his permission to remove this entity, or is he learning a life lesson and it needs to be there for now? So life lesson, or can I remove it? Can I remove it? Life lesson. I can remove it. Okay, good. All right. Um, planning and plotting going on. Yeah, it gives him it plans and it plots how to give him mental conflict. It wants to keep him in mental conflict. Not believing in himself, it said. Okay, it doesn't like me much. It sees me coming. Okay. Naten sa se la andate ke hela. Chinche hela ampampana ela anate kenda san se pimpum. La ana akela. Si na ampum. Thank you. Shishi na taike. Arcturians are helping me with the operation. They're calling it an operation. Chinche. Okay, so now I'm getting rid of negative residual energy that's left that needs to just get cleaned up here. Oh. Now there's some anger there. Change. There's some infection, some kind of like toxic infection energy. Maybe it was making him drink or take prescription drugs or like something that's very toxic. So they're taking away some of the residual from that. Now he's looking around like a dog just came out of a cage, like kind of going like, am I free? Oh, am I free? There's a guide that's helping him holding a lantern with a light in it that's going to help him lead the way step by step to recovering from this. I'm seeing the hermit card with that, so you may want to look at the definition of the hermit card. So whoever the spirit is, they're kind of representing the hermit. Oh, the hermit is a mentor, like a guide or a counselor too, out of the darkness. So na tainsa se he la eke kinchi china ipipuhu mana ike hanate tains. Thank you. Chai laim an. Okay. They said it's complete and the angels that were encircling him are all going somewhere else. Thank you guys. So all right. So hopefully you start seeing some differences in him. If you want to, it might be good. That might be hard because this is with your sister or whatnot, but I would recommend somebody like that be on my daily boost to get on that subscription, because he would be offered protection every day while on that. And he would be benefiting from my Qigong, which I'm doing sometimes twice a day. So I think that could help protect him while he's recovering too. Make sure nothing else goes back in him. But okay, I just put some protection around him as well. Okay, question number 3. This is my question. I used to dream I was being taken to doctor's offices at night. I think I've been abducted by aliens. Has she been abducted? Has she been abducted? All of my eggs were gone at 41. Wow. Do I have ET children out there? That I get a yes on. Abducted is like too harsh of a word. They're saying you're cooperating in an experiment. So they're saying that you're actually in agreement with it. You agreed to do it before you came down. It makes me think of there's a book called The Dual, like DUAL, Soul Connection. I would read that because it feels like you are a part of that somehow. Like there's a possibility that you're helping contribute to that cause. I would do a divine guidance council meeting, which I teach you how to do here on YouTube. If you look that up, just put Amy Satori Divine Guidance Council, and it should pop up. Do one of those with the intention of feeling into your relationship to these beings and what your job has been, and what you're doing, all that. Like try to feel into it more so you can establish a good solid connection with these beings and start a relationship with them. Hey, they said thank you for your service. They're bowing to you. Thank you for your service. So I feel like it's an actual positive thing, like you're helping humanity somehow evolution, they said. Putting a dispute to rest. Even I think that it could be aliens that were butting heads with humans or something. Could be even a certain type of gray alien that decided to change their ways or something, and they're actually I just asked if there's manipulation involved in it, and I feel like no, they like feels like the grays split, and there's like good ones and bad ones. So the good ones are the ones that you're helping to kind of reestablish some rapport with humanity again, and trying to like make up for certain things that happened maybe even in the future that haven't happened yet. Sounds really confusing, but maybe the book will explain better. I haven't read it, but I did go see the author share her stories in person at the university in Boulder. And it was like incredible hearing all the things that she's seen and experienced. It was amazing. Okay, so 4327. 4327. I'm looking for the best way to detox children from childhood inoculations. Would you recommend Clean Slate by Root, Touchstone Essentials PSX, Advanced TRS Spray, all zeolites, but which is best? Advanced Fulvic or something else? Okay, let me see. All right, so Spirit, give me a yes or no on each of these, please. Clean Slate by Root, yes. Touchstone Essentials PBX, no. Advanced TRS spray, yes. Advanced Fulvic, yes. So 3 of them were a yes. They said combination, maybe a combination. Which of those 3 would be the strongest pull for her to do that you guys would recommend for her? Huh, interesting. Okay, so would it be Clean Slate, Advanced TRS, Advanced Fulvic, Advanced TRS spray, I feel. Yeah, Advanced TRS spray. Is that right? Okay. That feel good to you guys? That'll be effective. It's going to build a solid foundation. Something's going to pull together from it. A brand new beginning. Anything else? Healing. Healing vulnerability. So, yeah. Something about the spray has something to do with like they haven't experienced spray before, so it's not going to trigger them. So I think it has to do with something like that.
Anything else you'd like to tell me about this, please? And I love your mission. That's awesome. Okay. They said Reiki also. So maybe doing the spray and maybe you're going to become like a Reiki practitioner and I get a yes. Or some type of energy work like that. So maybe you'll be doing energy work and the spray. I feel like you're going to spray and then do the energy work. And then you're going to have them drink a bunch of water as part of a treatment that you're going to do. They need the nurturing. They need to lay on a table and have someone nurture them. So it's like you're going to spray them in the mouth or whatever, and then lay them on their back and just do a treatment on them. And then they're going to get up and they're going to drink some water is how I see it. And I feel like essential oils are going to be a part of it too, because it feels like there's some aromatherapy happening in the room. Smells really good in there. And you're going to maybe give them an essential oil to take home as well. So you're going to give them a treatment and show them how to take care of themselves and how to love themselves. You might even have them go stand in front of a mirror and say, I love you. I love you. And your body's got this. Your body has an incredible capacity to heal. And, maybe show the children how to talk to their body. How to command their body, how to tell their body, this is what we're doing. We are detoxing and we are doing this, that, and the other thing. And, to talk to it like you would a dog, sit, lay down, you train the body to listen to you. So I feel like you're going to do some kind of a combination for them. And it's going to make the kids feel special and like they have somebody on their side that they can trust. Okay. Oh, they want me to, which one is it that you want me to show? That one. Okay. So they want me to pick 2 of these. I think they're like crystal angels from Doreen Virtue. Stress reduction. De-stress your mind, body, and schedule as you need time to rest, recharge, and revive. So I feel like that's for you. As you're putting all this together, like definitely take time for yourself and don't wear yourself out because you want to have enough energy to adequately give to others. So you got to make sure that you're replenished, just like me taking my weekends. So also I feel like you're going to teach the children how to stress reduce as well. And natural beauty and authenticity. Be yourself, as God made you naturally attractive and lovable inside and out. So have confidence in yourself and know that your beautiful authenticity is going to be like an angel to these kids. Okay, so spirit message. And we have 3 more orders at this point, those of you who are listening and kind of waiting to see what's happening now. It may seem lonely at the top, but is all the drama worth your peace? The kingdom of God is within you. You can have heaven on earth, but you must let go of everything to truly have it all. So I feel like your tribe will come later. Right now, it's a period of being alone, contemplating, putting all this together. But your friends will come and your tribe will come, and you will have those good, healthy relationships that you're wanting to have. Cry and get it out. This is just a purging to clear the way for better things ahead. So make sure that you're feeling all your emotions. You're getting squeezed out of your comfort zone to spread your wings and fly. Throw your inhibitions out the window and go. All right. Gonna take another drink. All right. 4332. Hi, Amy. I hope you had an amazing time while on your sabbatical. For those of you who watched that video, I'm not sure. It was a miraculous time. I have my amazing times to come. I I will eventually take some kind of really fun vacation. It's been a really long time though. Okay, you've done a handful of readings for me that consistently revealed that my DM, my divine masculine, was romantically interested in me. He deeply cared for me and wanted to be with me, that he was working through some things, but it sounded as though he was taking steps to be with me. Everything you said in the readings were beautiful, and I looked forward to them. But it's confusing when I don't experience it in the 3D. We started something romantic in April, but then he began distancing himself when he made a harsh and somewhat inaccurate judgment of me based on his projection of one of his exes onto me. We haven't seen each other in almost 3 months now. Towards the end of our short romantic journey, we only communicated via text when I initiated contact until I stopped over a month ago. This is until a few days ago when I saw his post on Facebook about a friend of his passing who was fighting cancer. I texted him to send my condolences, offer support in any way that he's willing to accept, but he remains cold and distant, as though he couldn't care less about me. In a situation like this, is it possible for things to turn around? Do divine masculines tend to get stuck in their thinking, or does it evolve into seeing divine feminines for who they really are? Okay, this is actually very much going on for the divine masculines right now. A lot of the current energies have to do with the divine masculines just having lost somebody very, very close to them. So definitely, if you're not doing it right now, then you should be looking into twin flame readings on YouTube. Some great readers that I would recommend would be Amelia's Tarot, Guided by Angels. Moonlight Goddess is great. And there's somebody else. Oh, Heart to Heart, and the 2 is a number 2. Heart to Heart. So those guys are good. And you know, if it doesn't resonate for you, if it doesn't seem to be true when you're watching it, then that's not for you. I mean, when something resonates for you, then it's gonna have some pretty specific information that you happen to know about your masculine. And I would say all 4 of those readers have talked, maybe not Amelia, but anyway, I think the other 3, no, 2 of them, 2 of them, Moonlight Goddess and Guided by Angels has, I believe, talked about how the masculine has gone through somebody dying in their lives. So maybe those are the 2 you want to check out. So this is very, very, very common. I would absolutely 100% go to my YouTube playlist, all about true love. So yes, this is incredibly common. They will keep going out with these karmics until they start to learn how to decipher and discern people who are trying to manipulate them, from you, basically. And they are so jaded and so hurt by what's happened with these people that they will absolutely project onto you, or they're doing it to you. You're not the one doing it to them. They're doing it to you, but they're saying that you're doing it to them. We've all been in denial from time to time. You know, we did that back when too. So they just have to grow past that. They have to start to see the truth. They need to pray to see the truth in all things. So while they're at that stage, though, it's really tough. And it's not that he's not interested in you. In fact, he very, very much loves you. And that's part of the reason you're being treated like that, because you're the closest one to them. And when they pick a karmic person, one of the reasons that they do it is because, well, like the reason that I explained in the other reading, that they view themselves from a place of low self-esteem. So they, like, let's say their dad called them, plug your ears, kids, called them a piece of crap. So they have that embedded in their subconscious mind. I'm a piece of crap. So they always think that. They're always repeating it to themselves. They're always like, you always make a mistake. You always make the wrong choice. You always blah, blah, blah. So they program themselves by repeating it over and over and over. They've believed a false story They've believed the lie, and they have programmed themselves to believe that. So the karmic comes along, and the karmic says, you're a piece of crap. And they say, thank you, you know, and they believe it. And they're like, you're right. I am. I'm so stupid. I can't even figure out, you know, what to wear without your guidance, your wonderful, mean guidance, you know, and these karmics come right in and just bull right over them and tell them what to do, manipulate them, act like they have feelings when they don't, when they just want their money or an opportunity or whatever. I mean, they just rake them over the coals, and they don't even see it because they're wanting approval so bad from the wrong source. But what happens is you come in being totally honest and authentic, and it scares the crap out of them because they don't want to be shown some of these things that they've been in denial about quite yet, until it's time for them to actually see them. You mature when you're ready to mature. But when you're stuck in denial, and when you're in a reactive state, and you're just like, you jump to conclusions a lot, you think things are happening that aren't happening, and you lash out, and you're vengeful, and you do all those immature things, they see you over there sitting on your throne, all calm and cool, all peaceful, and it just really makes them mad, and they just put distance between you and them. And they know that with those karmics, they really don't have to invest much. They don't have to really be their true selves, because the whole thing is fake. Subconsciously, they realize that what they have with their karmic is totally fake and false. And it's all based on a lie. The lie is that he's a piece of crap is the first lie. The second lie is that they even care about him, because they don't. The karmics use them. So the third lie would be the combination of the two put together, pretending to have this awesome life. So the whole thing is totally false. And until they figure that out, you know, you're like the ultimate. And if they, you know, they've been hurt and bruised so many times by all these people that they keep choosing because they still believe they're a piece of crap. So they'll go keep getting beat up and beat up and beat up and beat up. And they fear that if they go with you, they're gonna really have to look in the mirror and see things. They're gonna have to look at the man in the mirror. They're gonna have to take a good look at who they really are, and start having some integrity, and start living up to their truth and their word. And they're gonna have to speak truth, and a universal truth that they can speak to everybody openly about. This is who I love, and this is what I'm about, and this is what makes my heart feel really full and expansive, you know. And they will have tower moment after tower moment, meaning something shocking and startling and upsetting, and things will crumble. Their career will crumble. Their relationship will crumble. They will have so many bad things compiled on them, to trying to get them out of their comfort zone, to break out and start a new, more authentic life. So it takes a while. It's a process. And they all go through it, but they're scared to death that once they get with you, that you'll then either reject them, or that you'll be like, yeah, you're too immature for me, or yeah, I found some other guy who's way more blah, blah, fill in the blank. But they have to get to a point where they just finally shake off that belief that they're a piece of crap. When they start saying to themselves, I'm a king. I am a king. I am a king of my kingdom. And I am, you know, I can manifest the life I want. I can have what I want. I just have to make some major decisions and make some judgment calls, and I'm going to make it happen. And I'm following my heart. And I am following, you know, what truly rings true for me. It feels good for me, that I feel proud of being involved with, that I feel excited to go be a part of. You know, what adventure is calling to me? I'm going to go make that happen. You know, and they have to get rid of people pleasing, and they have to get rid of all the beliefs from their past. And it is a big, huge cleanup job on their life. And sometimes it's just easier for them to just be with the karmic, because being with you means all of that. And it also means that even after they've made all these decisions and clean up their whole entire life, you could walk away, which you would never do, but it's their biggest fear, you know? So it's there. What somebody like me feels into with my intuition, or anybody else who's good at what they do, what they're feeling into is true, it's accurate, and especially what they get with tarot cards and whatnot as well.
They're all tool. Everybody has their tools. Some people use oracle cards, tarot cards, pendulums, or just their intuition, which is also a tool. Whatever tool they're using, though, that's pure information from spirit trying to let you know what's going on at the root of it. And it's true. So don't question yourself or your own worth or think that he doesn't like you just because he's quiet. He's running away from the situation because it scares him. You'll see that if you take a look at the playlist. There's tons of videos in there that will give you so much information about this whole journey. But don't let it make you feel insecure. Your job, if you watch the video Stepping into Your Power, which is on my videos page in my website, you look at Stepping into Your Power because it tells you what your job is through this. And if you want to know his job through this time, then there's a video called The Divine Masculine's Ultimate Test. So, yeah, you just have to be in your power. You have to get to a point where nothing that he does gets to you anymore. And that's hard because they really, really trigger us sometimes. But what you got to do is just keep healing yourself and just keep doing Byron Katie's work. I highly recommend it. Doing Qigong helps you heal those things. Like whatever your thing is, you can discover your own thing if you want. But whatever that is, heal those issues. Anything that comes up for you where you get angry, resentful, frustrated, impatient, any of that, deal with those feelings and emotions. Because by the time you guys come together, you're going to be like a powerhouse. You guys are going to be like an unstoppable force. It'll be amazing. So it'll be worth it when you guys come together. But just right now, this kind of stuff is very, very common and frustrating. Also, keep in mind, if he does make a choice to not be with you and he stays with the karmic situation and doesn't give you any kind of indicator that he wants to be with you necessarily, that's why I made the video alternate options, because you have soul flames too. And you can go, like when they shut a door on you, when they say, this is it, I'm not doing it anymore, then another option can come in for you. And they will for sure do that, as you saw probably with that 1.0 and 2.0 earlier in that reading. So yes, they can absolutely turn it around, and I've seen them do it, and I've seen them do it in dramatic fashion. Like just one person one day, the next day they're just all of a sudden enlightened with all kinds of maturity. It's amazing. So, and especially since he's going through a really hard time with his friend, like don't expect him to, he's probably keeping himself from lashing out at you, even though you're trying to be kind to him. It's probably putting something in his face that he really doesn't appreciate. You know what I mean? Not that he doesn't, when he's over this thing with his friend, he will appreciate you. But in the middle of it, he's probably feeling like he wants to lash out at you. And that has nothing to do with what you did. It's just that he's dealing with some really, really big emotions right now. They're not very good at dealing with emotions at this stage. Okay, so will you please do a healing for him since his friend passed? Yeah. So I got his permission to do that. His friend is trying to get him laughing and joking, like, just take it light, like it's no big deal, I'll be here for you. Like he's trying to get him to kind of lighten up and not be so hard on himself and not be like going through all these bad memories and like what he could have done better or should have done better or as a friend or whatever. He wants him to just drop all that, all the guilt and all that. He says, you're beating yourself up for nothing. It's all for naught. It's really stupid to be doing that. Like, don't keep yourself in a bad vibration because of me. Like, I want you to move on with your life, and I want you to be happy, and I want you to look back at the good things. Take those things away. Learn from some of the other stuff, but don't dwell in that negative space. So all of this is going to him telepathically. All that I'm saying, I'm actually saying it to him as well. I do feel him relaxing about it a little bit. Okay. And please a healing for us in hopes of clearing the slate between us to release any remaining lingering negative energy between us. Many thanks and blessings to you. Sending my love and gratitude. Thank you. Sheshehe ma'anatake la lepim promoon hateki sanse shehe elake na alphon. And I'm going to ask, like, what does he feel in his heart of hearts right now about you? 2, 3 cards. Oh, he's trying to figure, you are his ultimate dream come true. And he's trying to figure out his way to his wish fulfillment with you, his happy family, his happy ending. So, but he's making his way through some obstacles with people. He may have to, maybe he's been people pleasing and now he has to tell some people, look, what I want for my life is different than what you want for me. And I want a fresh new beginning. And I know who I want that with, which is you, obviously, because I'm asking about you. So maybe he's just got to get through the people pleasing, but he definitely, he wants that woman that's on her throne, taking care of herself and being loving and kind and compassionate. And he knows you're there ruling your kingdom. You're the empress. The empress rules her. She's the epitome of what I was describing. So he's figuring out his way to you. He's figuring it out. He's just going through some healing right now. So he's got to be separate from you. It's called the separation in twin flame terms. Okay, so 2 more. 4338. Hi, Amy. Thank you for all that you do to teach and share. You have been such an inspiration on so many levels. Requesting a true love check-in on my divine masculine, please. All right, and thank you. I'm so glad. You've been with me a long time, a really long time. I can't wait to see some of you guys come together into union. It's going to be amazing. And you better be contacting me. Don't just go start living your happy life. Tell me about it so it can inspire other people. Okay. So what's he thinking and feeling about her right now, please? What's he thinking and feeling about her right now, please? Wow. 8 of Wands right out the gate. Huh. Something having to do with his kids. He's got his kids on the brain. Or kids. An epiphany that's putting him in his power, helping him to get over something, overcome something. Maybe it was sex trafficking that finally kind of turned his head. Interesting. Wow, we have the Hermit card. Wow, a 3rd page. He could be sick. He could be not feeling well right now. Yeah, and with that 9 of Wands, feeling kind of victimized, kind of beat up a bit. So he's had some kind of an epiphany making him want to communicate with you lots and have things move forward. He's feeling in his power in his heart space, and he's something about spying or gathering more information. So maybe something he's read or looked into has given him a little pep in his step, made him feel a bit more confidence with you. And I bet it's got something to do with kids, because you got so many pages here. He wants to, I think he's trying to get over his ego right now so he can apologize to you and tell you that maybe he was wrong in some of these things that he was putting you through. He's getting up the courage or feeling more courageous to approach his dream coming true. 10 of Pentacles, like that's the ultimate dream come true. Having everything and money and success and a family and the dog, cat, kids, all that. Like he wants it all with you, and he knows that he can have it with you. And as the Emperor in his heart, I mean, his heart is already in that place of being the ruler of his kingdom. So he's grown a lot. But maybe he's done a lot of maturing and jumped from a page to an emperor too, straight to an emperor. I mean, we do have another king here, King of Pentacles. So really grounded and mature and solid, So this is what he's coming into in the future, is that King of Pentacles with the 7 of Swords. So he's strategizing on how to be, that person who can take you into that life.
like escort you. I see him like escorting you into this grand, new, incredible, beautiful, abundant, happy life. So he, with the Hermit and the Page of Pentacles over on the side here, a little side note, he's wanting to come out of hiding. He's practicing wisdom as to how and everything, and it might involve the kids again. So wants to come to you with some kind of a message, kind of, it feels like a peace offering to me, to transform the situation into a loving situation, like admitting how much he loves you despite all your differences and, his defensiveness and whatnot. So it just looks like he's overcoming his ego, and he is getting up the courage to do this. He wants to work with you instead of against you. He misses you like crazy, and he sees you as his perfect match because you got the Queen of Pentacles here too. He's been spying on you. He's been thinking about what to write you or what to say to you. He's just needed the courage to face his own demons on some things as well, and have those epiphanies and realizations he's needed to get on the same page with you. I think he thought you were lying or disillusioned or in denial before, and now he's kind of grown up and realized that you are not disillusioned whatsoever, actually. That you actually were telling the truth. So I'm going to just grab a couple of masculine cards here. I hope you're ready to make some major life changes quickly, because I'm going to sweep you away. Think about simplifying your life as best you can, because I anticipate this moving fast. Holy cow. Turns out you were right. My ego is bruised. I ultimately want you in my life more than I need to be right. I just have to swallow my pride a minute, as I'm not used to this feeling. See? Oh my gosh. He's realized some truths, that you were telling the truth. I had been convincing myself that I was happy in my circumstances, although you were constantly calling me out on it in my mind. I was living a lie, but I just needed to see what would happen on my own. So you allowed him that space to go ahead and, go ahead and live in your disillusionment. Go ahead and see what that does, for you. And then he went down that route and he said, you know what? I hate it. I hate being without her, and I hate what this is doing to me, and I hate the separation I've caused. I've had enough of this. I want you in my life now. Please just let me do this on my own terms and trust me. I'm coming sooner than you may think. I just can't take this pain anymore. Wow. I've hated myself. I couldn't very well accept your love when I couldn't love myself, but I've been working on it. Good. Good, good, good. I've been lying to you or hiding from you out of fear or to save face. However, I've pushed you away. Just know it was a lie, and I feel terrible. I will get honest with you at a future date. I think that was the denial he was in. I think he knew you were telling the truth, and he was scared to see it. Maybe a lot of these people who are just kind of like head in the sand about these current issues right now are gonna, start realizing and waking up to their denial. So he also says, you are my angel, my guiding light, and my ascension, the light at the end of this dark tunnel I've been in. I'm like a moth to your flame, and I plan to run to you as soon as I can overcome this. And then I am open to or planning on relocating to be closer to you. I'm open to compromising more than you may realize. Let's think outside the box and figure out a way. You're that important to me. What's funny too is thinking outside the box is exactly what the Empress is about. And you are his Empress. So awesome. 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 Okay. Last one, 4363. And after the last one, we're going to do a general blessing. So don't go anywhere. Okay, 4363. I recently had to change primary care doctors, and I'm feeling very uncertain about the one I chose. During my initial appointment, she told me I had an umbilical hernia, but did not make a big deal about it. She just said, if there's even any pain, or if it's turning dark in the area, go immediately to the OR. I've done some research and found that there seem to be some problems with the mesh most often used to correct these hernias.
but that seems to be the most common fix. I found a doctor who might do the procedure without a mesh, but I am a full-time caregiver for my husband, so I avoid lifting during the healing process. Avoiding lifting could be a problem. So my question is, do I need to have this done now, or can I have this hernia healed in the healings that may be going on right now? In the healings that may be going on right now, as I've heard you mention, the healings that are going on right now. Oh, okay. They just said ascension. So I wonder if just losing 10 or 15 pounds would be enough to correct it. I just got to know. I'm concerned that if I wait and then need the surgery in a year or two, our medical system may be even in worse shape than it is now. I've read that hernias usually don't correct themselves, but I am so dubious about anything medical I read anymore. I would be too. They just said no medical. No, 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 no medical. So they said that my daily boost would do it. If you want to join the daily boost, that would do it, because I'll be sending the Qigong energy to you once or twice a day. Or you can do the Qigong, More Energy, More Life, on my resources page. It's called More Energy, More Life. You could do that. Like I would do it like when you first wake up in the morning and then before bed. And it can be corrected through energy, they said. Both, either way, the daily boost would help, or doing it yourself, doing the Qigong yourself. What else would help? Telling your body that you wanted to heal it. I'm going to do it right now. I'm going to work on you right now too. I feel like for the natural healing that you're talking about to happen in like a sped up way, you would need to do some intermittent fasting. So that would allow your body the ability to I would watch my video about my sabbatical. Definitely watch that, because when your body is digesting, it can't heal. So it's a distraction from healing. So the less that you can eat, the better, and you will lose the feeling of hunger when you do it. And then you're going to feel on top of the world, like you can do anything. Because, some people that I know are just eating once a day, for example, once or twice a day. I'm eating about once a week, sometimes twice a week. And it's not for nutrition. I'm not eating for nutrition. I'm not eating the nutrients for my body. I am only consuming for the taste, sensation, and the enjoyment of it, because I eat chi. I live off of chi. That's my nutrients. I don't need supplements. I don't need vitamins or any of that stuff. We don't need anything outside of ourselves, guys, to give us the nutrients and everything we need. So, but you do have to switch your default from needing the food nutrients to needing prana or chi. So, increase your chi. Do have energy work done on you on a regular basis, just one time. And this is a note to the daily boosters, those of you with the daily boost. If you need extensive help, like something major, you need like an individual 20-minute session at least to really delve into it, because there can be many layers to things. So the daily boost is more of a supportive. It's like doing, the Qigong once or twice a day. It takes time to heal deeper things. But, doing a one-on-one 20-minute session or something like that can really help expedite it. But let me do a healing on you now and see what I see. So what I'm going to do is just hold the intention of putting mesh there, but an energetic mesh. So it will do the same thing as a mesh would do without any infection or any issues. And I'm going to check with them with everything that I do to see if that's going to be effective. And it is. It looks like it's going to be. Okay. Anything medical that's done like that is going to end up giving you scarring, creating issues, causing infections. I wouldn't trust anything medical. Right at this point, I wouldn't trust anything medical. No.
You can go to a naturopath, but still, I don't know. I would do energy. Spirit's totally agreeing. Okay. She lakirina tatai san se ipim poma homa ana ichinche ho pompa oko tatai. It was weak from being a child. Oh, umbilical. Isn't that interesting? I was going to say this happened when you were a child. When I see an indentation, it means like either a past life or from when you were a child. So that rings true for what you said about umbilical. Pape sanse shi lakirina hey ke pum pum mo ona ala he ena aike shishi he pum mon ala ena oma ashishin ta ala upomo oko agitin ta say shishi laki pim pum ho against sa se hela itina take chinche again. Ha la kirina tahi sase. I just asked if 2 times a day, eating 2 times a day would be all right. With that would help, and I got a yes. Tie san say shike, do not snack, don't eat anything. Put lots of hours between when you eat, as many hours as possible. Maybe 8 o'clock in the morning and 8 o'clock at night or something like that. But eating before bed is hard too, because you don't want to do that. I would do like maybe 8 and 3. Maybe 8 and 3 would be good. Then you got plenty of time to digest before you go to bed, so your body can heal while you're sleeping. I would also watch Dr. Berg when it comes to intermittent fasting. He's wonderful at helping people support themselves through that. I'm building up some tissue to make that area really strong and reinforce it. Okay. All right. Hopefully you'll feel a difference just with that. Maybe you won't need anything else, but I would definitely start introducing some qigong into your life for sure. And it's just gives you such peace. And it really just helps you heal quite a bit to do it every morning and every night. So, okay. Everybody drop your shoulders, take a deep breath. Just relax. Get ready for a great weekend. You can always submit a question for next week if you want to. Just go to my website and click on Ask Amy. All right, set your intention on something you'd like some help with. And as long as it's within everybody's free will and for the highest good of everybody involved, it will be amplified and helped, assisted. You will be guided regarding that matter. Hama anate ke sase na chichi na puhumaan ha la ke he na te kin sase hey la hike pemaan. Some of you need to not take things so seriously, and you just need to laugh it off or play around or goof off about it. Tata hin sase shike he la una an pupu poma ha na te chichi na ha la ke sase. Okay. Thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you, those of you over in the chat. Have yourselves an awesome weekend. Love you guys. Sending you a big, big hug, and I will see you next week. Bye.